The morning breaks and you feel the aches. Stepping out on the wrong side of bed. The carpet's burning, the wheels are turning, and all you see is red. Things can only get better in sunny weather, yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel like leaving a letter till things get better, yeah, yeah, yeah.
This episode has been brought to you by GoDaddy. Visit GoDaddy.com and use offer code Jeff20OFF or Jeff295 for great discounts. And by BitGravity, the exclusive HD provider of the Tech Buzz Network. For live streaming of Mission Critical events, trust BitGravity. Visit BitGravity.com for more information. And by NewTek, the makers of the TriCaster 40. Stun your viewers, not your accountant. Visit newtech.com and find out more about all the TriCaster line.
Welcome to episode 22 of the Jeff Adams Show.tv on the Tech Buzz Network. We are live, baby, on 98.5 West Virginia at WLMradio.com. Glad to be on the radio. Boy, fantastic. I want to introduce, as always, we tried to get it fixed, but in standard definition, one more time, folks, the Merry Monks of Love.
That's right. I am the Merry Monk of Love, and greetings all brothers and sisters, lovers of the Father, and our Holy Mother of ones and zeros, Mother Internet. Thank you for joining us on the Jeff Adams Show. 888-547-8383 is the number to call us. Jeff, I cannot find the number for our guest today. You can use that as a segue to talk about the guest if you'd like and what's coming up on the program. But at some point, you're going to have to pass me along the number. We do have a guest today, Jeff.
Yes, we're going to have a Majed El Shafie. He was recently on the Glenn Beck show, and he's going to be, you know, all the stuff that's going on over in Egypt right now. If you're paying attention to news, it's perfect time to have this guy on. He was actually persecuted living in Egypt with everything that's kind of going on over there. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting story. So he'll be actually calling at 4 o'clock today. And talking with us for about, 15, 20 minutes.
I thought you said we were calling him. Or he's calling in?
Yeah, either or. We'll figure.
Well, it matters because I got to do the... Anyway.
A break.
All right. That's technical. We're going to work on that.
Darn it. Eric, I will text you the number during break, okay?
Okay.
The same building, I could just walk it to you. Or I can give you, a piece of paper like, do you like me, yes or no? We can take care of that. So, anyway.
It's good to be here, man. It's good to be on the Jeff Adams Show with Jeff Adams.
Yeah, it's good to have you. And I don't want to forget the guy that produces it all together, the Wizard of Broadcast Magic, the one and only Stephen Haywood. I don't know if he's mic'd up. Hey, we'll do his voice. He's waving his arms.
Angry Bird.
For the people on radio, this is what I sound like. I'm Stephen. Hi. How's it going? I'm wearing an Angry Bird.
Man,
I gotta
he's the
start
man who
doing
makes
that.
it all happen.
I gotta start doing it. I gotta start leaving it because you guys mess me up, my voice up every time.
Oh, you talk. He talks. The broadcast wizard.
That wasn't just in our head. He actually put that out on the air.
I think he did. He just flashed the video, so I think he did.
At the risk of annoying you, Jeff, I do have to correct you. It's WLMN.
Look at these right here.
98.5 in West Virginia. I think you just said WLM.
Did I?
Yeah,
nice.
I think so.
WLN.
Go back to the replay and check it. It's WLMN.
It's WLMN.
WLMN.
And here we go. Hey, man, how's, I saw you the other night, obviously, but how is the workout going, my friend?
Well, you notice I didn't eat anything the other night.
I know.
And
you know what's crazy about that story, Eric? Is Nino was sitting there. We were both talking about how hard we're working on a diet, and Eric goes, Nino goes, hey, man, I can order some chocolate cake right now. And you know what? I'm so glad he didn't.
Well, man, I have been doing really, really well. I've been eating the MetaFast Moon food. I've been doing my lean and green at night. I've been working out a couple times this week, went and worked out. And I'm happy to say that I've lost 2 pounds.
Oh
since
man,
the
that's awesome,
since
dude.
the last broadcast. Lost 2
That's
pounds.
awesome, dude. It rocks.
Yep,
See, I
so-
told you would do it. I told you would do it.
Down to 251. We'll
Bam.
keep track now.
So you're exercising still too?
Yep. I went twice this week. Again, just aerobic. I haven't been doing any, I haven't been lifting any weights or anything like that.
No jazzercise or anything like that, right?
Yeah, no Taibo.
Isn't jazzercise like stuff that was going on in the 80s? Wasn't that real popular? Yeah. They still have jazzercise?
I don't know, man. I think it's all Pilates and Taibo or whatever kickboxing goofy thing that they do. I don't know.
Fighting.
And they do that thing now where they have like dancer poles and stuff, and the girls go work out in their lingerie, and they say you got to be very athletic for that, and so that's how they pitch it to them. But it's just it's kind of gross. But
that is pretty gross. I mean, I don't know.
I think about how much I sweat on that Precor machine, that little elliptical machine at the gym. I hope they wipe those poles down.
Oh, jeez. Isn't that the truth? Well, I'm down to 246.5.
246.5.
Yeah. Obviously, I missed my workout on Monday, but I normally meet with the personal trainer 3 times a week. And so I met with him Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I am very, very sore because, tomorrow, I normally meet with him Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, but tomorrow I'm flying to New York. So I had to get them all in.
What were you last week?
I think it was like 247, something like that. So not much.
You lost a little bit.
It's just going right here, baby. It's getting the guns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, don't even.
And in celebration of losing all this, I'm actually going to do my shirt topless right now, and we're going to do it before and after. So I'm kidding. Not that. I wouldn't do that.
We could get those mesh shirts, jerseys where you can actually see through them for the show. Little Jeff Adams Show jerseys.
But
hey, I know you. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead. No, you.
No,
you do it.
No, you.
No,
you. Chocolate cake?
I'm not talking anymore. Embargo.
No, I mean, I was going to ask you, do you have any cravings still? Like,
yeah. It's horrible. It's not fun dieting at all. There's no easy way to do it. You have to not eat and exercise. That's all, it's just painful.
Well, I've actually got, Driz has got me down to this thing where Driz is my personal trainer for those that don't know. Tuning in the first time, I go to Driz. So, anyways, Driz, he said, man, you should eat small, eat a good sized breakfast. And then just every time you're hungry, every 2 hours, eat something small. So that's what I've been doing. I've been drinking a lot of protein shakes. They're like this chocolate flavor. And so anytime I get hungry, I do protein after my workout, before my workout. Then I have like a teeny sandwich for lunch, and then, like a piece of fruit, and then sensible dinner, and then do another protein shake at night. So I've been, nicking the cravings, but I'm sure this weekend in New York, I'm going to have to take some protein with me and mix some shakes.
Oh, you're going way off it on the weekend. There's no way you're going to be able. There's no way. I mean, I don't want to be discouraging or anything, but I'm just saying, come on. There's no way when you go and hang out and, see your brother and you're in the city and everything. How can you stay on it?
Well, I'm actually, too. I'm going to be on the GFQ network tomorrow night. I'm going to do the free-for-all with good old Andrew. So that should be a hoot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're telling me about that. That's cool.
Going to make me mad. He said, I think his show gets done at, let's see, it starts at 8, it gets over at 10, and he wants to go to dinner at 10 o'clock. I'm just going to have to probably sit there during the show and eat protein bars. And when he goes and eats dinner, I'm just going to sit there and watch him, because eating dinner at 10 o'clock, I know I'm sounding all religious with this workout stuff, but you know what? I've got to stay on the straight and narrow, man, or I'm just going to, I'll find myself at McDonald's at 10 o'clock at night going, We'll see. We'll see how you hold up. And,
I know you want to hold this for later, but I just have to tell you about my motivation now.
Well,
I just have to tell you about it. I mean, I can't do this segment and hold off on this story.
But that's the beauty of radio, Eric. You got to leave people hanging for more. You've got to.
Okay, well, let me at least just say this. This weekend, I hit rock bottom.
And how did you?
I hit rock bottom. I can't tell you because Jeff won't let me tell you how I hit rock bottom until the next segment. But I hit rock bottom, and I realized just how gross I am and how fat I am, and just I was ashamed. I was ashamed of myself, and I was ashamed of myself in front of my 13-year-old daughter, and it was not pretty. It happened on Sunday. It was very public, and it was at that moment that I will tell you about in the next segment.
Well, let me,
it was at that moment that I realized I have to change. I have to change. And this goes to what I've been talking about at themerrymonk.com about redeeming the pain.
Redeeming the Pain, Part 3, baby.
Redeeming the Pain, Part 3 is up. And in Part 2, I talked about how the first way you can redeem pain, you can't avoid it. You're going to have to just accept it. But the first way that you can redeem it is transformation, because change doesn't happen until the pain of not changing outweighs the pain of changing.
But real quick, you talk about transformation. Are you talking about physical, or are you talking about the spiritual, or
all kinds of transformation? But I'm using, I deal with a lot of habitual problems, addictions, things like that. And it's not until you hit that place where it's more painful to live the way you're living.
Right.
Until you hit that, you just don't give up the comfort of the thing that's taking good care of you when you're suffering, or when you're lonely, or where you're whatever. But I definitely hit that moment this weekend where it's like, there's no food that's worth this shame. There's no food that's worth being this disgusting man in front of my daughter. It's just not worth it. I am on the path, man. I've committed. And you're going to watch it happen. You're going to watch the transformation happen here on the Jeff Adams Show. And if you're listening to WLMN, you got to go to the JeffAdamsShow.tv, and you can see video. Mark this day. See me, then see me later.
Yeah, it's all about staying healthy and living. I want to live. I want to live a long time. And,
I don't care about living. I just don't want to be ashamed anymore.
You don't want to be ashamed in the casket there.
Oh, I don't know. Dude, give me death. Dude. Life's the hard part.
Yeah, life is hard. But at least, I know your daughter was there, so there was no drunkenness or nudity that was happening where,
Oh, you'll have to wait till the second segment. You'll have to wait till the second segment.
Yeah. I'm just going to
tease this.
I'm real curious of what happened here, so what we're going to do is we got 2 minutes to jab the jaw here. And
oh, really? Well, what do you got coming up? I know you've got this guy who's from Egypt, and he's been persecuted, and he was on Glenn Beck, and he's coming up later on the program. And I know we can take calls, 1-888-547-8383 if you're in the chat room, if you're listening on the radio, 98.5 WLMN, or at WLMNradio.com. You can call in, 1-888-547-8383. No, we've got that.
Speaking of those call letters,
what other kind of things are going on now?
Yeah, speaking of those call letters, we've got a minute to go here before break, but real quick, working on more radio stations. Been emailing with some people here and actually in Florida about the show and, different things, and try to localize the shows and make it more present on radio, since we got the audio feed now. It makes the world a great, great place now, with full of possibilities with this radio stuff. Radio is
what we want.
Know that.
Radio's the future.
They could pay the bills at least.
I don't think radio's the future.
This live internet stuff, But hey, So let's. I'm gonna have to find.
Well, I do want to say this. I brought up the redeeming the pain thing, but the second one is to use your pain to help you be creative, and I do want to talk about that on the program today, because I think I hit a nerve with that one, and I would love for you to read the post too at themerrymonk.com. So if you would allow me, I would definitely get to that.
Yeah, and so let's before we go to break, in segment 2 of the JeffAdamsShow.tv, we are going to talk about the great roller coaster taper here on the JeffAdamsShow.tv.
Jam the Hype, your source for positive hip-hop and R&B. Now on your smartphone or tablet. Playing new music from
Boy, I lost it, I'm foolish. Running off at the tulips. Probably wooing all the coolest, persecutors, the boas. Catch me.
Thizzle.
Fresh up off that plane, touchdown in my city. Been through around the world with this bird on my feet.
Jacob.
And the world is such a beautiful place. Such a beautiful. I know that we can make it.
Flame.
I don't do this so the industry can't know my name. Boy, I do this on purpose.
V-Rose. On our smartphone app, you'll get 24/7 streaming radio, interviews, videos, interact with other music fans, and get live TV broadcasts covering positive hip-hop and R&B events. Now, on the Apple iOS Store and Google Play, Jam the Hype, changing lives with positive hip-hop and R&B. Now on your smartphone or tablet. Jam the Hype, your positive hip-hop and R&B channel.
Hey, I'm laughing there on break. Hey, thanks for joining us back on the JeffAdamsShow.tv. And we're live, baby, on the JeffAdamsShow.tv here on the Tech Buzz Network. And we're also on the radio now. I mean, go figure. We put our annoying voices on radio, but we're on the radio, WLMN radio.com. West Virginia, 98.5. And if it's not going to get any worse in Virginia, it's going to get worse because we're on the airwaves now.
Yeah. Check this show out. You thought you had it bad before.
You thought your
in
dreams were
West
bad.
Virginia. Now you've got the Jeff Adams Show to contend with.
Yeah, you thought your dreams were bad until you watch this. You can go, hey, man, actually, before we get into your great roller coaster caper here, I want to share something with you. I know I'm probably not the best at doing this, but there was this guy I knew him for years, and I used to do like these old vlogs where I would stream live. I think, Eric, one time you wanted me to be a guest on your podcast for what I was doing back then, and it's humorous stuff. And he saw me, goes, and he got on back on the radio. He got like on 8 stations or something like that, and he goes, yeah, you were my encouragement. You were so bad, I said I could do better. And so I was like, oh, yeah, geez, thanks. I'm glad I could be some encouragement for you.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, guy.
Glad I could serve you by being so bad.
Yeah.
Give you hope. Hey, if this joker can do a show.
Right. So we're talking about weight loss.
After this appearance in West Virginia, it's going to be like all kinds of great stuff's going to come out of West Virginia. You're going to see, podcasts and radio shows and movies all popping up out of.
I think if we ever do a, live remote in West Virginia, I know to bring a lot of Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why's that?
Just because it's the mountain drink there. They love it there.
Oh, right.
Mountain Dew. You never watched.
Well, we're there. We're here to inspire you, West Virginia. Okay,
right.
So we're gonna. There's the Mountain Dew right there. So, is that where Stephen Haywood's located in West Virginia?
No, he's not in West Virginia. He's in.
Where is he?
Pennsylvania, right? In Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. North of Pittsburgh.
Just say Pennsylvania.
He's the tech guy. He's in the control room. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Jeff's over in Lakeland. What a world we live in. This is so cool.
It's fantastic. If you would have showed me this 10 years ago, I'd go, wow, it's still pretty bad. Anyways, we were talking about weight loss, and Eric, we were talking earlier, and you said you had this shameful, disgusting story.
Yeah, I bottomed out. And the pain of that bottoming out is going to motivate me to really transform before your very eyes on the JeffAdamsShow.tv. This weekend, made plans to go to Busch Gardens with my daughter. We bought tickets earlier in the year and went out there. And when you buy tickets, you're a Florida resident, you can come back for the rest of the year. And so we're going back for our second trip. And love hanging out with her. She loves riding roller coasters. The last time we were out at Busch Gardens, we did 25 roller coaster rides in one day. It was it was a kind of overcast day, slow day, and we were just off and on, off and on, off and on. We rode Montu 13 times in a row to celebrate her 13th birthday. That was her favorite roller coaster. So anyway, great great stuff out there. I should get paid for mentioning how fun it is. If you can work that out for me, Steven, that'd be great. So, going out a second time, and I know that I've gained some weight since the last time that I was out at Busch Gardens with my daughter. And there's this little nagging voice in my head that was ruining the fun, ruining the anticipation of going out and spending this quality time, daddy and daughter.
What did it sound like?
riding roller coasters. And it sounded like my own voice. And it said, "You fat slob. You've gained so much weight since that last trip."
Time out. Now, when that voice was going on in your head, right? What exactly were you eating at that time in line? Be honest.
No,
Be honest.
no, I'm on.
This talks to me too, man. Come on.
No, this is way before I get there. This is
all right.
Yeah, this is a couple days before. Like I'm kind of like this is gonna be bad because I remember the last time I went there. You sit down in the roller coaster and you pull that thing down, over your shoulders, and you get a couple clicks on that thing, and then you have to buckle the seatbelt.
Right.
Holds you in while you do all these twisty turns and upside downs and all that stuff. And I remember last time that was pretty tight. And I had actually watched a large man try to get squeezed into one of those seats, and it didn't happen. And they said, "Sir, you're going to have to move into like the back of the roller coaster someplace for the fat seat."
Could you imagine you're in the floor? You're that big. You're literally that big, and they say you can't ride the roller coaster. You waited 2.5 hours in a line to go.
Right. And everybody who's waited 2.5 hours in line, they slip onto the coaster, they get into their seats, and they're like, "We're gonna go now. It's gonna happen now." I'm so excited. How comes it's not happening now? What's going on? Who is that guy? Why are they talking to that guy up there? Oh my gosh, that guy's fat. oh, dude, he's getting pushed into the back of the goose. He's getting in the fat seats in the back. And it's just, you're holding everything up, and I'm thinking, oh, please, God, please.
Do they have
make
fat
me
seats in
that?
the back?
I'm like, don't make me that. What's that?
I didn't know they had fat seats in the back.
I don't know. Maybe they took him off and put him out of his misery someplace. Maybe there's not really fat seats. Maybe that's all just a dream, or maybe that's just that's just what they tell them before they take him down and go, "You know what? Boom! You shouldn't even be alive anymore, you slob. You're taking up too much."
They put a corn dog with mustard on it and a little ketchup, and they just like guided him out. Come on,
guide you. You know what? You're taking up too much resources on the planet. We're gonna off you downstairs. Oh no, there's another ride down here for sure. Yeah. So, what's that?
We gotta feed the gators. We need some meat.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's how they feed all them lions at Busch Gardens. All the fat tourists. So, I'm just thinking, I don't want to be that guy. Please don't make me that guy. And so we go, and I didn't mention any of this to my daughter. I was just kind of, holding on to it, just in the back of my head. And so we sit down on the first ride, Cheetah Hunt, and the bar goes down.
All right.
And it clicks, and I'm like, hey, it clicked.
Yeah, man. Yeah, working out.
I'm on my way, man. Okay, I'm not that fat. I'm not that disgusting guy. And then I reach down and get the little seatbelt thing, and I'm like, oh, the seatbelt doesn't reach. Oh my gosh. And then it's happening. It's happening. Oh my gosh, I'm that guy. It's happening. Oh, this is so embarrassing.
The corn dog.
And so along comes this big black girl. she takes one look at me, and she's like, and she gets on there like with the elbow.
Hey, look, it's you.
She gets on there with the elbow and pulls that seatbelt up, and it like cups a couple more clicks down and then clicks up, and I made it. I made the cut, dude. I made the cut. I wasn't that guy, and I looked over at my daughter. It was just bad enough that that lady had to come over and just horse it.
Well, did you
and-
take her for the rest of the day? Did you pay her money? Go, please follow me to every roller coaster we ride in case this happens again.
No, and like going on the next ride, you're thinking, oh man, what if the next one's tighter? You know, what if, like, oh, it still might happen. But no, I told my daughter when we were going up to the next one, hey, before anybody else comes along and starts, horsing this thing, could you just like let me sit down first? And then you go ahead and push down on it if there's any problems, and then you could sit down. But that actually wasn't necessary the rest of the day. Hey, all you fat slobs, if you want to go to Busch Gardens, Cheetah Hunt's the tightest seat on all the coasters.
Well, too, I mean, we went to Legoland. I think it was a couple months ago. They actually have a roller coaster that's really teeny. It's an old wooden roller coaster, and you can. For not being fat, for just being tall, you can't ride on it. I don't fit. I waited probably 35 minutes with all the kids, like, yay, and my wife's there. I can't fit. My legs are too long. So I said, I'll just sit this one out. There was no way I was riding that thing.
But that's not a shaming thing. I mean, when you look over,
tall.
It's not shame. I mean, you're tall. You're a giant man. I mean, you're a specimen. Look at you. Look at you. All that height. But
on radio,
what can you do? What can you do about that? But my problem, it's not like glandular or anything. I mean, it's eating. It's like I heard a radio host in town here say once about a lady. Hey, that's not gland fat. That's eating fat.
Exactly. So true.
And that's what I got, man. And it was we laughed it off, but I tell you, inside I was hurting. Inside I was like, oh.
Wait, your daughter laughed at you?
Like, we laughed it off, like, that's funny, next time you can help me before, any workers come over and start standing on this harness or whatever.
What did you say to your daughter? I mean, did she goes, hey, I want you to keep me accountable, but not today because I'm going to have my corn dog. I'll start eating the salad tomorrow. Okay?
That's right. We went to lunch and it was like, honey, tomorrow I'm going to start. And I did. I ordered a big fat greasy burger. Hey, I got somebody on the line here. I'm going straight to air. Hope this works out. Hi, you're on the Jeff Adams Show.
Hi, this is Reverend Majed El Shafie.
Hey,
hello?
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Hi, this is Erik with the Jeff Adams Show. Hold on, and we'll get to your segment next on the program. Be right back.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a quick break.
That's our guest. Our guest is ready to go, man. He called us. I didn't even need that number. This is brilliant. This is all working out perfectly.
Everything's coming together, except for your internet connection and the standard definition. But other than that, and then the roller coaster incident, and then other than that, but anyways, he's right on time. So let's go.
Okay, so tell us about him. He's from Egypt. He was persecuted. He's going to give us the skinny, right? What's really going on?
Yes. On this break, we're going to show a clip. We're going to come back, and we're going to take him live on the call. He was persecuted in Egypt. If you're watching the news right now, a lot of stuff going on in Egypt. He was persecuted sometimes, but he is known as a freedom fighter, wrote a book about freedom fighter. He goes in and rescues people who are being persecuted for their faith, especially the Christianity faith. So he lives in Canada, and let's watch this clip, and we will be right back on the JeffAdamsShow.tv and 98.5 FM in West Virginia.
Between 200 to 300 million persecuted Christians in our world today, and nobody mentioned anything. You can speak about the persecution of any other minority, and the media will listen, the people will listen, but when you come to the persecuted Christians, nobody will listen. And I don't know why.
In the past 13 years, I have seen the persecution increasing worldwide.
Unfortunately, it's happening every day that people are losing their lives because of their being the wrong religious faith.
It's sad that here we are in the 21st century and there's still persecution going on.
The state that tries to take away our right to believe, our right to conscience, is a state that tries to take away everything from us.
So people need to know that, and not only to know it, but to care about it.
His name is Majed El Shafie. 4 years ago, he was arrested and tortured for his faith.
the persecution that's happening to these people is not something that I'm not familiar with. The main reason why I'm very passionate about it, because I'm one of them. I used to be one of them.
And we're back here on the JeffAdamsShow.tv and 98.5 FM in West Virginia at WLMNradio.com. We have a very special guest here today. His name is Majed El Shafie. I hope I got that right. He is a freedom fighter. And it's been, if you've been paying attention to the news, and, you know, I really don't, but for some reason last night I turned on the TV and watched it, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Egypt right now. And
over 500 people were killed in this violence that has broken out now.
Majed, before we get into you know, exactly what you do, what do you think about what's going on in Egypt right now?
Before, that's a big question. Let's start the story from the beginning a little bit, please, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Before
absolutely.
we say what's happening right now today in Egypt, we have to look what's happened 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, the Mubarak regime collapsed, basically. We all against dictatorship. We are all disagree with Mubarak regime, the Assad regime, Ali Abdullah Saleh of Yemen regime, the president of Tunis regime, all of them. We are all against dictatorship, make no mistake.
Right.
But the problem, when you take a dictatorship out, you create a political vacuum. Who's using this political vacuum is the Muslim extremists. And that's where we have a problem.
Wow.
So, to have a true democracy in the Middle East, and I hope that the media in the West will understand this concept. You cannot have democracy in the Middle East between day and night. But to establish true democracy in the Middle East, you have to have two elements. Number one, the separation between the religion and the state. Number two is the freedom of religion. Even like, let's talk about the Egyptian society for a minute. You have 30 to 40% of the Egyptians is illiterate. They don't know how to read and write their own name.
Wow.
So without education, democracy dies. Education is the oxygen of democracy. So even if you reform the constitution today, Egyptian people don't know what they are voting on. They don't know how to write and read their own name. So that's what's happened now. A gentleman comes with a beard and say, I'm here by the name of Allah. Everybody will follow him. And that's how we see the Muslim extremists took over in many of the countries in the Middle East, such as Tunis, Egypt, Libya, and so on and so forth. Now, last July, to be exact, July 3rd, the army took over from Mohammed Morsi. So Mohammed Morsi is the president of Muslim Brotherhood. He's not the president of all Egypt. He's the president of Muslim Brotherhood. And he took over. In 1 year, the persecution that took place to the minorities was never before. The Arab Spring turned to be a cold, deadly winter on the minorities. And we can see the lack of injustice. We can see that the country basically what was not on the right track, ignored the opposition, put many people in prison, abused his authority, and imposed his Islamic agenda on everybody in Egypt, include the moderate Muslims.
Right.
So the people went outside in the street. They didn't like it. After a year, they demonstrated. There was around 30 million. Some people would say between 25. Some people would say 22 million. Some people will say 30 million people in the street demonstrated against him. The army took over. After the army took over, the West basically jumped up in the air and they said, well, he's the first democratic elected president. With my own respect, I will disagree with this statement, and I will tell you why. I believe that there was a lot of corruption during the election. So there was a lot of bribes was paid by the Muslim Brotherhood for the people to vote for them. There was a lot of violence against the minority for them not to go to the election and to vote. But let's assume together that really Mohammed Morsi is the first democratic, really elected president, and the army took over. I am not talking about one-day democracy. I'm talking about democracy of lifestyle, Hitler was elected democratically. It was free election democratically, and Hitler won the election. But is he was a good president? No, he wasn't.
No.
Khomeini of Iran, he went in democratic election, and he won democratic election. But if he was good president, look what happened to Iran. Look what's happened to Germany after Hitler.
Yeah.
So doesn't mean that he won an election. It does mean that the people cannot go outside and demonstrate and refuse him as a president, especially when you have 33 million people outside in the street. So that's where we are seeing right now. What happened yesterday was awful. I definitely do not encourage killing or shooting of the innocent. At the same time, we cannot take sides. President Obama came today and he condemned the attack. He canceled a military exercise between him and Egypt. I'm sorry, President Obama have no right whatsoever to condemn Egypt in these circumstances. Because the President Obama and the Americans, they need to understand that all through the history, we've been supporting the wrong people that turn against us.
Right.
And President Obama repeating the same mistake. So we supported Osama bin Laden during the Mujahideen war, during the Afghanistan war, and turned against us, isn't he? During the Soviet war, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
We supported Saddam Hussein during the Iranian war, the first Arab Gulf War, turned against us. We support the rebels in Libya. 3 months later, killed our own ambassador. Is that true, or this is just my imagination? Now, President Obama talking about arming the rebels.
Oh, jeez.
In Syria, he's now talking about releasing Muslim Brotherhood and supporting the Muslim Brotherhood. Are you stupid? Are you aware that these people is the very people that created Al-Qaeda, that destroyed our land in September 11?
Yeah.
Are you aware that all of this that we're going through is because this Islamic extremist organizations? Man, I'm not talking against Islam. And I'm not talking against the Muslims. No. You know what? The biggest dilemma that's facing Islam as a faith today is not the rising of the Muslim extremists, it's the silence of the moderate Muslims. And this is the biggest dilemma Islam facing as a faith today. I'm done.
Well, Majed, and let's get in. We got, we've got a limited time here, but let's get into. You obviously came from Egypt, and let's get a little bit of your backstory. You're actually a believer in Christ, and you were persecuted in Egypt. Share that story with us real quick.
I went to the law school in Alexandria to become a lawyer. I was surprised and shocked by the persecution that's happening to the Christian minorities. Through my best friend Tamer was a Christian, I took a Bible, I started to read the Bible. I wondered why there's persecution happening to the Christian minority. Because I can tell you, you don't persecute somebody unless you are scared from the truth that they carry. That's my point of view. So I started to read the Bible. I believe in Christ because his love and his forgiveness and his sacrifice on the cross. I didn't find this love anywhere else. And I forgot. This is a Christian program or not Christian program? I can't remember.
Well, we're both Christians,
yes,
but we talk about all kinds of stuff.
Okay, even if you are not, I just want to know if I go all forward or you guys upset or something. But
no,
anyway,
go for it, man.
So basically, and I created underground organization basically in Egypt to support the Christian minorities in Egypt. I was arrested. I was tortured for 7 days. I received the death penalty. I escaped from my house arrest on a jet ski to Israel, and through Amnesty International and United Nations, I came here to Canada 11 years ago and created One Free World International to fight for the persecuted Christians worldwide and other minorities, of course.
But you go ahead, Erik.
Jeff, can I ask? I saw online some of the numbers that we're not hearing about the violence against Christians in this particular incident that happened yesterday and is probably ongoing. What we're not seeing in the media are all the churches and that are being burned and the Christians that are being
43 churches.
Yeah, tell me some of the statistics of what actually went down against the Christians in Egypt?
Well, the Muslim Brotherhood, after the army took over, it just partially started blaming the Christians. Now, they said because the Pope of the Coptic Church or the Christian Church in Egypt, he was behind the military general that took over from Mohammed Morsi. But also behind him was the head of the Al-Azhar, which is the biggest Islamic university in the world. But his life is not threat. So basically what they did, they just choose the most weak person because Christians is peaceful. We don't carry weapons. We don't shoot at somebody. So they decide and they took over that Muslim Brotherhood, will attack 43 Christian homes, churches. Just a few days ago, they shot a little girl by the name Jessie Bolus, 10 years old. She was coming out of Bible school. They killed priests in Arish. They burned the people alive in a home. And just yesterday, they burned 43 Christian institutions, include churches, include Christian homes, and Christian businesses. And I just wonder, one thing I don't understand, why President Obama did not stand up today and spoke about the persecution that's happening to the Christians and the attacks that took place against them? Why President Obama would remain silent about that? I need to know. I seriously need to know.
That's a whole different story with President Obama. I mean, that's a whole different lane. Obviously, I don't want to get too deep into the Democrats, Republicans, but I mean that's a whole nother issue. And if you're a believer, you kind of know what the deal is. But I wanted to ask you is, do you? Obviously you come to the States a lot, but I wanted to ask you something that was really important. You hear, especially the Americanized Christians, they talk about, oh, I'm being persecuted for my faith. Do you kind of find that humorous sometimes compared to something that you went through, being persecuted? Because obviously these people that are complaining that they're being persecuted in the States, they're not getting beat down. They're not getting...
Yeah, they don't have to escape on jet skis.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not beaten down yet. That's how I always put it. Okay.
Right.
Well, I don't find it funny. I found it, I respect everybody's pain. Of course, it's not the same level of pain. The Lord said in the Bible, if you will follow me, you will carry your cross on your shoulder. All of us have our own cross, and I believe that God gave the cross to the people that they can carry it. So you have your own cross, and you have your own weight to carry. I'm not saying that like the church in North America facing even 1% of the persecution that I see around the world. But what I say, that our world divided into two zones, a conflict zone and a comfort zone. The more that you are in the conflict zone, that's where the persecution takes place. We have one persecuted Christian every 3 minutes worldwide.
Wow.
Just last year, over 165,000 Christians were killed for their faith. Between 200 to 300 million persecuted Christians worldwide. This is just the reality. And the church in North America doesn't even know about it. Doesn't even pray for them. Because it's the comfort zone. So you have a conflict zone, you have a comfort zone. The more that you are in the conflict zone, the more that you are united. You are strong in Christ. You see, Christians like bag of tea. You don't know how strong they are until you throw them in a hot water.
Right.
When you are in the comfort zone, your immune system is weaker. Your unity is weaker. And your problems, your silly little problems, looks much bigger than it is really. And that's what we're saying. What North American churches doesn't know, persecution will come. The Lord promised healing. It's true. The Lord promised healing, salvation. But the Lord also promised persecution, which is a message that the church in North America trying not to preach it. Like you have no idea how hard it is for me to go to churches to speak about persecution. Many churches would not want to hear the message.
Yeah,
and
I don't doubt
the problem that we're facing. Go ahead.
America needs a wake-up call, and if you're a believer and you read in Revelation, you kind of know where it's going to go. I don't think America is going to have the type of freedoms that we're used to and what we're accustomed to. But we've got to go to break. But before we go to break and before we let you go, I want to make sure that we plug the Freedom Fighter DVD that you released. Give us a quick whose idea was that and what's it all about?
Freedom Fighters was basically about the persecuted Christians around the world, especially Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, and Egypt, and China. And it started 4 or 5 years ago, and I said, we have to document it. So I went to all of this place, and the camera basically followed me. My producer and cameraman, his name was Chris Atkins. He's a very brave man. And he went with me all of these dangerous areas when we get shot at 7 times in the last 5 years.
Wow.
But we made it, we're alive, and now it's a movie.
Wow. Well, thanks so much for joining us today on the show. I'm sorry we have limited time, but we got to go to breaks now that we're on radio. We got all big, Majed. We got all big. We're on radio now. But we have to go on break. But hey, also, Majed, do me a favor. I know you like everybody's opinions, but if you hear a Christian say anything in the United States that they're being persecuted, say, hey, why don't you just, take a plane ride over with me and see if you're persecuted.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time.
That's good. And now, the place to get the DVD, the place to get in touch with you, that's, what's the website again?
OneFreeWorldInternational.org.
OneFreeWorldInternational.org. I'll be seeing you there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to head to break, and we will be right back on the Jeff Adams Show.tv and 98.5 in West Virginia at WLMradio.com.
Follow The Jeff Adams Show on these fine social networks. Facebook.com/The Jeff Adams Show. Twitter.com/The Jeff Adams. YouTube. bit.ly/The Jeff Adams Show TV. RSS bit.ly/TJAS iTunes. All this on the Jeff Adams Show.tv and the TTB Network.tv.
Hey, GoDaddy.com. Go there and get yourself a URL. Tell you what, if you're listening to the sound of my oral cavity, you need to go there right now and use the promo code Jeff295. Jeff295 is going to get you a .com domain for $2.95. You see how it all fits together? Jeff295. Now, that's only for people that are new customers to GoDaddy, so make sure that you get there and you get your new .com and you use the promo code Jeff295. Now, if you're already with them and you want to get something else through GoDaddy.com, we still got you covered. It's Jeff20 off. Now, you might be able to discern you get 20% off if you use that promo code Jeff20 off or Jeff295. Please do use that one if you're a new GoDaddy customer because we get credit for it. So GoDaddy.com, thanks for supporting the Jeff Adams Show and the Tech Buzz Network.
Yeah, I love me some GoDaddy.com for sure.
GoDaddy. Now,
man,
dude.
That guy was, we really didn't get into full detail because he took most of his time what was kind of going on over in Egypt now. But man, if you guys can, definitely go check out his website and watch. You could even YouTube some of the videos. I mean, it is insane what this guy. And
he's going in there like rescuing people and stuff, right?
Yeah. It's unreal. I mean, this guy is the real deal. He is rescuing people and bringing them back to Canada. People that are believers in Christianity. He's grabbing them up and getting them out of there. It's just an amazing thing. I mean, we probably could have spent an hour with him just talking about that. But hey, with these breaks, man, they throw you off now, man. We're big time. We're radio.
But let me tell you something. We've talked about the midlife crisis here. We've talked about, looking at your life going, all right, I've accomplished this stuff. I've got all the stuff that I wanted to have. I got the wife and the kids and the job. And is this all there is? Is this it? And a lot of people midlife start getting really depressed. And I mean, we're no strangers to that. You start asking some questions. Well, what's it all about? And, man, I'm just, there's just this monotony every day. You get up and it's the same thing over and over and over. And, you know, you just drink more and, you know, check out and just want to blow your head off. It's just miserable. Right. But then you hear something like Majid's story, and you hear what he's doing, and you think, you know what? Dude, there's real adventure in life. Yes, and there's real stuff that matters. And there's a guy who is doing, I mean, you think about, what if that was on your docket today? Oh, we're going to go into Egypt and we're going to save some people and we're going to fly them out. We're going to ride some jet skis over to Israel and then we got to get them to Canada and stuff like that. I mean, dude, if you can get involved with something like that and like you care about these issues and you see the difference between, you know, these different ways of life and different faiths and you want to help people that are nonviolent and you want to save them from the people that want to, you know, just brutalize them, then, I mean, go to that website. Yeah. What was it again? Can you get that up there, Stephen? One Free World International or something like that?
Well, I know the DVD site is it's freedomfighterdvd.com.
Freedomfighterdvd.com, or go connect with Majed and, you know.
And
dude, that's amazing what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, here's how real it is over there. And I know we're a comedy show and they're like, where are these guys going with this? But, you know, the reality is there is some serious stuff happening over there. I was just watching the news last night and Majid said he's been shot at, but there was a cameraman with World News last night who was shot in action, and he's spent his, you know, 40-year career as a cameraman, and he was shot and killed yesterday when all this stuff was going on. It's very real. It's very, very real of what's going on here. And, you know, United States, you can see how, you know, from the Egypt's perspective of what they think of us. I've been overseas many times. These people do not like us. They think we're bullies, and especially our president disrespecting Egypt today it's really, really uncalled for.
Dude, if he's gonna fund these people that are doing the attacks, you know, you're actually funding the nutballs that flew planes into our buildings.
Well, we already give them guns. We give them guns.
That's crazy. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. What the heck, you know? Anyway,
but you can't do doom and gloom. That's why, we'll leave it at this. That's why, you know, me and Erik, you know, we have fun. We're, you know, we say some pretty crazy stuff. We're not perfect. You know, we're trying to figure all this out. But let me tell you something. You've got to grab onto something so much more than money, so much more than, you know, tangible things that, you know, we think that are important. Oh, I'm on the radio. Oh, or I got this, you know, video cast show. Oh, I'm a singer. You know, I'm writing a book. The things that are going to matter the most is what you do with your life here. And, you know, something that's helped with me is a relationship with God. Sometimes where I'm at, it's dysfunctional. It's very dysfunctional because I'm talking to this person that I can't see. I read about them, but I'm still trying to figure it out and go, God, can you hear me? Can you hear me? But it keeps me going. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me at peace. When I hear stories of people being persecuted for what they believe, I just can't even imagine. And for all these people that, you know, carry the line, I am a believer in Christ, you know, on their shirts, you know, how many of these people that go to Christian festivals that have all these Jesus shirts? Let me tell you, if there was guns firing, would you be wearing that shirt? Yes or no? That's how real it is over there. And let me tell you something, we're very, very close to start experiencing that here in the United States of America. So check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get hip hop on you. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, and make sure that your faith is solid in what you believe in. For me, it's been Christ, but I haven't got it all figured out, man. I'm not one of these holy rollers. I am what I am. This is who I am. I might say hell sometimes. I might, you know, I make mistakes, and that's the beauty of Christ in your life. You're able to make mistakes, and Christ still takes you exactly how you are and just transforms you day by day. That's the amazing thing about following Christ. Erik, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I do. And I want to just segue to the idea of creativity in a brutal world, in a very painful existence. And I think what Majed experiences is obviously off the chart. And what he's seen is like nothing we've seen. And he's experienced some serious pain. But that doesn't minimize the pain that we all feel. It's a universal thing. We all feel it. It's to different degrees, but it's the same quality, the same ache, the same hurt. And something that I've learned is pain is meaningless unless you embrace it and redeem it. You got to do something good with it. It's going to come. Why waste it? And
Right.
so one of the things is transformation. You know, when it hurts bad enough to do the hard work that you've been putting off, because that hurts too. But when it hurts bad enough, it'll motivate you to transformation. And the other thing that I talked about on themerrymonk.com is motivating you towards creative expression. And I've got a bunch of stuff there. It's not a long post, but I think you'll get the idea. Redeeming the Pain, Part 3. And let me just read something that's kind of relevant to what we've talked about today. This lady, she says, one of the most important things she's learned about creativity, she wrote the book Spark, How Creativity Works. For creativity to flourish requires the embrace of loss, the oldest and most constant human experience, of the most constant, whatever, human experiences. You can read about it. But this is what I said. That's why one of my least favorite things on the planet is a happy, clappy, pep rally church service. God forbid anyone on stage spills their guts while their guitar wails over the hell they made out of their lives. No, they're too self-conscious. They're too busy selling a phony bill of goods. That prevents the creation of anything that really resonates with the regular people who are looking for a shred of hope in a brutal world. And she says, again, the story that we all live is the cycle of creation and destruction, of control and letting go, of picking up the pieces and making something new. And this is what I wanted to say. The true artist exposes the festering boil of life, and then, with the skill of a surgeon, cuts it open and expresses the infection for the world to see. And when that happens, we stand in awe at their honesty and bravery. Our unexpressed pain aches with the truth of the human experience that we're witnessing. And if only for an evening or a moment, we know that we're not alone in our suffering, and that makes all the difference. And so I want to encourage you to not waste the pain in your life and turn it towards creative purposes. We can connect online at themerrymonk.com. We can talk about all kinds of stuff, you know, from how to deal with that to faith to spiritual experimentation. I certainly don't have all the answers either, but like Majed said, he found a love that he has not found anywhere else, and an acceptance, and that's unconditional. It's not about whether you're sold out or whether you're not sold out. I mean, we all suck, and we're all losers, and that's the only thing that is the criteria for being with Jesus, is be a loser. Those are the people that he accepted with open arms. The people that drove him nuts were the people that pretended they weren't losers. And so, you get a false idea of what Christianity is out there because of a lot of nutballs yelling on the street and holding stupid signs. But I'm telling you,
we're getting close here. This has been an excellent show in my taste. You get a little bit of weight loss, you get a little bit of exercise, you get a little bit of fatness, you get a little bit of food, you get a little deep into world topics, a little CNN-ish, and then we get into creative arts of it all, and we wrap it all up in a bow. What we just pulled off in an hour was fantastic. I think it's probably one of the best Jeff Adams shows we've had up to date. I know we got a little serious, but man, what's going on in the world? Check yourself. I mean, it's so important. It's good to laugh. That's why we're here. But just open your eyes. And before we close, I just want to say this. The reason I had him on the show is I saw this video of him. He rescued this family that were over in Egypt that were Christians, and the extreme Muslims over there raped the father that was a Christian's 2-year-old daughter because he would not convert back to the Muslim faith. That's why I had this guy on my show, because this guy is doing a work. He's doing something great, and I want to support that. And why do this stupid radio show vlogcast if you don't have purpose behind what you're doing. And obviously we're geared to the creatives, the arts, but sometimes we're going to go to the left a little bit and we're going to open your eyes to other things in the world. Mary Monks, great having you today. It was great hanging the other night.
Yeah, man.
We'll bring the funny, great word today. Excellent blog. I mean, very insightful. I think I'm going to go back and meditate on that more. I mean, that was excellent what you just said. Until next week, the JeffAdamsShow.tv and at radio station, you do the call letters, Erik.
Oh, yeah, that is WLMN 98.5 in West Virginia.
Yes, sir. Until next week at the Jeff Adams Show, be safe out there, and we'll see you next week, Thursday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the JeffAdamsShow.tv on the Tech Buzz Network.